Hello Internet, it's been a while since we spoke, and the holidays were upon us. My brother came into town, and I had to take him by our local Chinese place. It's a real Chinese place, an Asian market with real Chinese food, authentic Chinese food, called Mr. Chen's, which always makes me think about Community's Señor Chang. So I always think of it as Señor Chen's.
I'll allow it.
It is an Asian market unlike anything I've been into. Here in Mississippi, there's not a lot of those. We're getting more now. There is a Vietnamese population on the coast, but up here in central Mississippi, not so much. The next thing I dealt with was the two things you deal with the most in the holidays. Number one, the post office. It's always a line, there's always a struggle, there's never enough people. Yes. The next thing, the liquor store. Always popular around the holidays. I think the lady in front of me bought about $500 worth of alcohol just to get through the Christmas season. It's just the way it is. Christmas Day came and my children were pleased at all the many things that Santa had brought them, all laid out, all nice, bright, clean, wonderful.
One with a toy line. That's good. Addie's got three cat sisters. Yeah, but I'm thinking out of the family.
But Christmas Day also had me going out and about, and there's only a couple of things that are open on Christmas Day. One, your standard CVS Rite Aid, where people are basically just buying beer. And the other was your local Chinese place, or in this case, hibachi place to go. And that's what I went in and got. I did manage to record a Christmas special. It should be what you see before this one in it, and if you haven't, well, go back and check it out. It's all about the toys that I didn't get. Not the ones I'm saying I deserved, just the ones saying that I wanted and I didn't receive. And it wasn't until recently I actually looked it up to get one, and they're like, the things are still like $100. It's literally I think it's like an 8086 or an 8088 is the CPU architecture on it. And it has the day after Christmas, we spent time at my dad's with my brother, my dad, and my stepmom, my new stepmom. And my brother found in a room some things that he had mailed to us years ago, and we never received. They're called wishing lanterns, and they were kind of really interesting to actually send off into the cosmos. And yeah, it was pretty neat. It was only later that we found out that they're like this huge fire hazard and they're banned all over the place. But it had rained heavily when we finally did it and sent them off, so not worried too much about it. After time with my family, we headed down further south to Florida for my wife's family. It's always interesting to travel down there to stop at the... We actually stopped at a fireworks place we had always seen but never stopped at to try to get some of these wishing lanterns for my nieces and nephews on the farm in Monticello. And it was an interesting place, big giant fireworks place. And the rest areas in Florida are always fascinating to me. They're very dated, and in fact, I was able to discover some more risque material dating back from the late 1990s. So I found myself in Florida, down on the farm. There's so much cool stuff on this farm. Made it down to Florida, and, you know, I always go to the local flea markets and stuff, and yeah, there's always creepy clowns and stuff. But I hit a local vinyl place a couple towns over that was pretty neat. The guy was an old hippie from the UK, of all places, and really, really knew his stuff. So I picked up some prog rock that I didn't have, and definitely got to put it on the list to go back. Usually when we're down there, we meet up with my wife's mother. I guess that would be my mother-in-law. at this great place in Tallahassee called Barnaby's. It is a fantastic pizza place that seems to date from some other time, and I really enjoyed it. And I thought I'd shoot some video this time and kind of show you the strange old worldness of it all. I did get to take my nieces and nephews out to a local movie theater. Always fascinating, the little small ones in the local towns, and it was really neat. I went to see whatever the Penguins of Madagascar, whatever their current movie was. It was either that or Annie, the remake, and I really kind of wanted to see the Penguins, and my nephews did too, so that's what we went and saw. But it's always really neat to see these old theaters. My wife's family always has a good New Year's celebration on the farm with oysters, shrimp, all kinds of other food. There was a cheese ball competition. I feel like I won this time, just saying. And it's always at their barn, surrounded by millions of dollars in big, giant farm equipment. And it's always great. It's sitting around, nice fellowship around a fire with relatives and workers and stuff like that. It's great. Once I got back to Mississippi, I came down to my hometown of Columbia to spend some time with my dad. And well, that's when some huge tornadoes hit Columbia and even killed 2 or 3 people. And it just brought up this severe weather is an interesting thing we have here in the South. It's always been a part of my life as long as I can remember. I always remember tornadoes and hurricanes and stuff like that. Katrina was really fun to go through. But yeah, tornadoes are always a part of life down south. And just, this is what it's like. It's always thunderstorms. It's always raining, It's always scary down here, so you just kind of learn to deal with it and to live with it. So it got cold in Mississippi, and I'm having to be outside for a bit. It's not something we're really used to so much. Usually when it drops down below 30, we think we're going to die. So yeah, we can handle the heat, but not the cold, not so much. I finally managed to get out and actually game and throw some dice and play Star Trek Attack Wing. I bought in, tried to make it to a local tournament. It got moved, but I still played, and it was good. Oh yeah, and the other big thing that happened that I sadly have no video for, I got a tattoo. See, that's it right there. So yeah. I tried to film it. They wouldn't let me. So it's interesting. My first one, 38 years old, about to be 39. Well, so that's what I've been up to lately. The next thing's on tap. I went to a chicken show. I'll show you about that. I have a new podcast coming out, hopefully soon. It's going that way. It looks good. But, until then.